Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to another live video with us here at Afro-Vegan Society. I'm Jessica, and we are so excited to be closing out our week of content to conclude National Chicken Month. And what we're doing this week has been all about showing you that there are healthy, compassionate options that you can enjoy as opposed to eating chicken. And so we're so excited to round out this week of content with Jasmin, who's going to be coming on in just a second to show you how to make a delicious recipe for kale Chik'n Caesar salad made with oyster mushrooms. And already this week, I started off on Tuesday showing you how to make crispy chickpea and jackfruit tenders. And then Ray came through the next day showing you how to make some delicious vegan rasta pasta that was so good. And then yesterday we had a very important news special with Jess and Jasmin talking about why it's time to leave chicken off of our plates for good. So with that said, we are going to end it off super strong. If you've been enjoying this content all week long, please like this video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube Live with us today, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube or follow our Facebook page so you don't miss out on any updates from us moving forward, because we have even more great things happening very soon. So with all that said, I think it's time to bring Jasmin onto the screen. Everyone, welcome Jasmin in the comments. Hi, Jasmin. Oh, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. I was saying, I think you summed up so well. I think we had some great content this week, from recipes to help you transition from that chicken in your diet, or if you're already vegan, just add some new recipes into your diet. And then we had the informational session and the informational video. It's just all great things to supplement your journey. So
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, before we take it away, let's just take a little bit of time to say hello to some of the people who have been talking to us in the comments. So we've got Audrey Timmons tuning in from Florence, South Carolina. Hi, Audrey.
hey.
We also have Shanae McGraw tuning in from San Antonio. Hi, Shanae. Thanks for tuning in with us this evening. We also have Rita Drake from Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta in the building. Thanks so much. We also have Bernadette Session from California's East Bay area. Hi, Bernadette. And then we have Ruthie Oakes from Austin, Texas. So thanks so much for everybody who's tuning in with us this evening. If you are watching, you haven't shouted out where you're watching from, please hit us up in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. And with that said, if you have any questions during this live stream with Jasmin, put them in the comments, and I will be asking questions to Jasmin as she prepares her demo for us today. So with all that said, Jasmin, take it away.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Jess. So we'll get right into it, guys. So today I'm making a vegan Chik'n Caesar salad. And I have to tell y'all this story. So I've been vegan since 2011, and I feel like I've grown or become resistant to the word salad, because in my early years as a vegan, whenever I went out to a restaurant, the only options on the menu were either fries or a side salad. And you guys know that side salad was nothing to impress anyone by. It was just some measly lettuce, 2 tomatoes, a slither of a curd, and then you probably didn't even get dressing because they probably had ranch dressing. So I just had this bad reputation with salad. But as I've gotten older and I've explored more in the kitchen, and I have the desire for more healthier food options, I've introduced salad back into my diet. And salad is just a great way to work with different fruits and vegetables, grains, proteins, and just combine all those things, have different textures, flavors, and it's just full of nutrition, phytonutrients, minerals, vitamins, all those great things. So that's why I want to bring you guys a salad recipe today. So again, I am making a vegan Chik'n Caesar salad using some mushrooms. And as always, I'll jump right into the ingredients. So here are my ingredients back here. First, I'll tell you what ingredients I'll be using, and then we'll start, putting the recipe together. So the main showstopper for today is our oyster mushrooms. Now, I love oyster mushrooms because I love mushrooms in general because there's so many different options. There's over 2,000 varieties of mushrooms in the world. And I feel like mushrooms cover all of those bases when you're trying to transition from, a meat diet to a plant-based diet. So you still have like your portobello mushrooms, that's sort of like your steak. You have your oyster mushrooms, which could be for chicken. Then you have like your seafood. You use your maitake or your shrimpet or your king oyster mushrooms. And then you have like your cremini mushrooms. They can be like substitute for like bacon texture. But mushrooms are so versatile. So that's why I'm using these oyster mushrooms. And this is what they look like. They call them oyster mushrooms because they're in the shape of like oysters. So I don't know if my light will let me be great, but that's what that looks like. So they sort of like come like these clusters. Okay. Next on my list, I have my greens. Of course, you need some greens in salad. For the Caesar salad, I'm just using some romaine lettuce and then my red leaf kale. So of course, the traditional Caesar salad is your lettuce, but I wanted to up the recipe because I feel like, of course, kale is my favorite vegetable, my favorite leafy green, and it just helps me feel full at the end of the night when I'm finished with that salad. So I'll just be mixing my lettuce and my kale, okay? Then I just have some sunflower seeds here. I have my croutons. Now with croutons, I want you guys to be careful because when you're looking at the ingredient labels on a lot of crouton options is either egg, milk, or cheese. And it's like, why do y'all need to put that stuff in some bread, some hard bread? So you can either pay close attention to the ingredient label. I picked these up from Harris Teeter. But if you don't have a Harris Teeter in your area, you can always make your own. Croutons are so easy and simple to make. You just take like a piece of bread or like a baguette. You cut that up into square pieces, drizzle it with some olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, your Italian seasoning. Give that a good mix around. Pop it in the oven until it gets nice and crispy. And you have yourself some homemade croutons. Okay? And then I have just some crispy onions. I seen these in the store when I was walking. I was like, oh, they could add a good amount of crunch to my recipe. So I'll pick them up and I'll be adding them in today. But these are completely optional. And again, always read those ingredient labels. Of course, I have some garbanzo beans. I'll be using garbanzo beans for extra added, protein and some, just allow my salad to be more filling and to add some warmth into it. But also I'll be using my aquafaba, the juice of the chickpeas, for my Caesar sauce, okay? Then I just have a regular red onion, garlic. Then my seasonings, I'll be using umami seasoning, and this is what I'll be sprinkling over my mushrooms. If you don't have umami, you can use like a Chik'n seasoning or just put your own personal blend together. You guys know what works best in your kitchen, okay? Then I just have some garlic powder, Italian seasoning, paprika, black pepper, and some sea salt. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with my chickpeas, creating that blend together. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn my heat on. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, just drizzle it about in the pan. And I'm gonna add my red onions. And I'm gonna let that saute until it gets sort of like a translucent. You can how it's like get like that caramelized look to it. So I'm gonna let that cook down. Get stirred. And I don't know, for some reason, when I'm like sauteing onions, I like to add a little sea salt to that. I feel like it helps it cook. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it helps it to get more translucent quicker and easier. So I'll give that a nice little turnaround. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, I'll go ahead and start with my Caesar salad sauce. So for this Caesar salad dressing, like I said before, the base is going to be your olive oil, your aquafaba, some lemon juice or lime juice, some seasonings, sunflower seeds, garlic. You blend all those together and you have yourself a tasty Caesar salad dressing. So I'll go ahead and get assembling those. All right, so first I'm just going to add the aquafaba. And the seasonings. In my seasonings, I just have my umami seasoning, sea salt, garlic powder, onion powder. Add that in. And then I'm adding my lime juice. And it's just a splash of lime juice, maybe like a teaspoon. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend it together, and then once it gets nice and blended together, I'm gonna slowly add in my olive oil. And what that'll do is help it emulsify as it's going in to help create a nice smooth dressing at the end, so it's not like oily and separated. And you don't need to blend for long, just blend for a little bit until you see that it turns like that nice white Caesar color. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna add in the sunflower seeds, and that's gonna help thicken it up. Right now it's like a nice light liquidy mixture, but when you add in the sunflower seeds, it's gonna help thicken it up. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. So I'm adding in my sunflower seeds and then 1 clove of garlic. And I actually soaked my sunflower seeds prior to putting them into here. So something for about an hour or so. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that again. All right, and you don't have to blend for long. As you can see, it has a nice creamy texture. So you can see the light is not letting me be great today, but it's nice and smooth and creamy. Now I go ahead and get that nice little taste and make sure that it's to my standards. Looks good, looks good. Nice and creamy, and then garlic had that nice, if you love garlic, of course, add more, but I think that's perfect right there. So I'm gonna set that aside, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add my chickpeas now to my mixture, or to my onions. So the onions are looking nice and translucent. I'll let you guys see that. So I'll go ahead and add in my chickpeas. Get a mix around. And then to season my chickpeas, I'll just be adding in the garlic powder, paprika. You can add in the umami seasoning to this too. So I'm just adding in about a teaspoon of each seasoning to my chickpeas. Now I'm gonna just let that cook down. Add a little bit of sea salt. Now I'm gonna mix that around. I'm gonna just let that cook down. All right, so now while we're letting that cook, I'm gonna go ahead and put my oyster mushrooms on the pan so they can get a nice sear to them. Just see if I have any questions. I think we're looking good. All right, so with mushrooms, it's good to know when you cook them, you know they're gonna cook down because mushrooms, they have some sort of water content in them. So just be mindful of that. They will shrink in size. But for these larger mushrooms, I'm just going to go ahead and cut those in half. And then I'm going to pull apart all of my mushrooms from the cluster so they're just in like their single mushroom states. So I feel like mushrooms are just so simple, especially these oyster mushrooms. They have a nice chewy texture. They have this white color to them. And then they absorb flavor well. And in addition to that, they have like their natural umami seasoning, similar to the seasoning that I've been using, but that seasoning is very satisfying to the palate. So, I'm going to chop those up. So I'm just go ahead and heat a little bit of olive oil on a stove, and then I'm going to sprinkle some umami seasoning, And that's really it for the mushrooms. Give this a stir. And just lightly, drizzle the olive oil on there. I'm gonna just throw my mushrooms on there, and you guys make sure y'all wash your mushrooms. I know some people say not to wash the mushrooms because they feel like it absorbs the water, but I've been using mushrooms. I always wash them. You have to have clean food when you're eating it. There's so much stuff out there, and I've been fine. I feel like it did not affect the texture or anything. All right. So I'm gonna just give a quick stir around, make sure the oil is coated on the mushrooms. And I'm gonna sprinkle some umami seasoning on them. And that's really it. Once you sprinkle the umami seasoning, again, toss it around and then let that cook down. So you can be very generous with that, with the umami seasoning. Just give it a nice toss around. And again, you just can leave that while you go and prepare the rest of your salad. So what you want with these mushrooms, you want like a nice char. You guys know like that brown char that you see like when you go to saute something, that's what we want. That nice brown char on both sides, that golden brown look on both sides of our mushrooms, and then really they're done.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mushrooms, I feel like you can just wash them. I like to just run them underneath some running water, make sure that there's no bugs, no dirt on them. Just clean them off with my hands. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir my chickpeas. They're looking good. They're smelling good. All right, so while that continues to cook, I'm gonna go ahead and assemble my salads. So first, I'm gonna start off. I have 2 cups each of the greens. So I have 2 cups of my kale, and I'm gonna start with the kale because with kale, you want to be able to massage it and break it down so it's nice and tender, and it's not as fibrous when you go to bite into it. So when you go to massage it, that helps break down those fibers. So to massage it, I'm just going to add a splash of olive oil just to work it in, and a pinch of sea salt. And the sea salt acts so like the abrasiveness to help break it down. So make sure y'all hands are clean and just go in and massage. Okay. And I also like to add a little bit of the Caesar dressing in when I'm massaging later after I've added the olive oil and the sea salt, just so that the dressing is, dispersed evenly amongst all the parts. So it doesn't take long to break down. You'll see that it will start to wilt as you massage it. And I'll show you guys in a second what that's looking like. All right. So as you can see, it's starting to wilt down a little bit. It's starting to get darker green in color because you're breaking down those fibers. It's feeling much, softer and tender in your hands. And that's what we want because when you go to eat it, it'll go down smooth. So like if I went and got a piece, it sort of like takes away that bitterness when you go and massage it. So that's good. So I'm going to add in a little bit of my Caesar dressing to that and massage that in as well. And I like to be able to massage the kale because the kale is it has like a thicker skin than the lettuce do. The lettuce, I would not massage it because I feel like it breaks down easier. But the kale is like more sturdier, if you will. So just go in and massage that Caesar dressing into the kale, and then that's what we're looking like. Okay. So I'll take a look at what my mushrooms are doing and my chickpeas. They're looking good. I'm just gonna go ahead and give them a slight turn. And I can go ahead and turn the heat off of these. These are looking good. Now set these to the side. So this is what they're looking like. You see it nice and brown. And they have a good coat of seasoning in them. So like when you go mix that with that, they'll have like all those nice flavor bursts in that. Yep, I'll tell you in a second. Let me pull the recipe up now and I'll just go through that. All right, so for the Caesar dressing, you have a fourth cup of soaked sunflower seeds, a half a cup of aquafaba, a fourth cup of olive oil, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of lemon juice, and 1 clove of garlic. And again, what I did was I first added in my aquafaba, lemon juice, and my seasoning. I let that blend up together, and then I slowly added in my olive oil, and allowed that emulsify so it was nice and smooth. And then I added in my sunflower seeds for that thickness. And that was the dressing, nice and simple. So for the salad, I am using 2 cups of kale, 2 cups of my lettuce, 2 cups of oyster mushrooms, a half a cup of chickpeas, a half a cup of croutons, a half cup of crispy onions, a fourth cup of red onion, and then a teaspoon of olive oil, pinch of salt, a tablespoon of all of the seasoning that I'm using: Italian paprika, garlic, onion, umami, and peppercorn. And it's very simple. So I'm gonna go ahead, just give that another stir because you don't want it to burn. And they're looking good, so I'll just leave that alone for now. So now that I massage everything, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my lettuce to my mixture. Okay, you can get a nice stir around with your hands or some tongs if you don't want to get your hands messy. But right now already it's so colorful. You got the darkness from the kale, the lightness from the lettuce. And there's so many different varieties of kale. You know, you have your dinosaur kale, your curly kale, your red leaf lettuce kale. Feel free to use any one that you like. And then with your lettuce, you know, you have your green lettuce and your green lettuce, your red lettuce. So there's so many different options. Just figure out which ones you like the best and go with that. Okay. It's looking good. I'm gonna just leave that alone. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add my chickpea mixture to my salads. Okay. And I love adding like warm things to the salad because I love like warming foods. And when you saute up some chickpeas and add it, or you can even like saute some rice or some greens. When you think about like other combinations for other salads, they really add like that warming feeling to your dish or your salads. So I love salads because it's just an opportunity for you to play around. You could do like a apple kale salad, and that'll be good with like balancing with the flavors of sweetness and savoriness. It's always nice to play with textures. You can add some like walnuts, toasted walnuts to your salad, toasted pecans, glazed pecans. It's just so many different options. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give that a stir around. Here. All right, and then I'm adding in my half cup of croutons and then my half cup of my crispy onions.
Jasmine, Audrey wants to know, is there anything you can use instead of oil?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Just what do you think?
In terms of cooking or for the dressing, I'm not sure. If it's with the dressing, you could use like a little bit of plant milk, like plain unsweetened like almond milk or soy
Mhm.
milk or something like that. And then if you're trying to saute, you could just use like maybe a little bit of water, vegetable broth just to steam saute. That might work.
That sounds good. Yeah, it's definitely easier. Like when you're making things, to like saute with water. I feel like that doesn't affect it, especially if you're doing like sour free or oil free. I feel like a little bit of water, it won't have like that golden brown, but it still have like that flavor. So what I did, I just added in my croutons and my crispy onions, and I'm just giving that a mix around. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and check on my mushrooms. They're looking good. They're cooking down, and like I said, they are shrinking in size, but that's okay because they're getting nice and golden brown. All right. So we're almost finished. I'm just waiting for my mushrooms to cook down a little bit more, get a little brown on each side, so they're like that nice crispy but still meaty on the inside. And then we're almost done with assembling the salads. So now just go ahead and add a little bit of my dressing into this, just to disperse it, because you want a nice bite of dressing on each piece of lettuce. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of that around. Now I'm gonna just use my tongs to mix that together. Okay.
Jasmine, we have kind of a funny question here. Are you going to eat that entire bowl of salad? What's the serving size?
So it's actually two servings of salad in here, and it's interesting because I feel like with salads, they're like so like low in calories, so you can eat as much as you want. But like when you're adding in like the beans, they get more filling. So I would say it's all great stuff in here. So just eat until you are full and like no one's judging until you feel full and nourished. So it's coming together. It's looking like that nice Caesar salad dressing look with the dressing dispersed evenly amongst all pieces. Now, in a typical Caesar salad, you have your Caesar dressing, which is so like tangy, and then you have your lettuce, and then sometimes people add in like Parmesan. So if you were going for like a homemade Parmesan sauce, you could add in some cashews, blend up some cashews, add some nutritional yeast, sea salt, garlic powder, and then you have yourself a nice Parmesan cheese to sprinkle over your salad. Okay, so they're looking good. They are cooking down nicely. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add these into my salad. So this is what they're looking like. You see that they're nice and brown. Go ahead and show you guys the piece. That's a nice brown piece. So this is what it's looking like. So you see it's got that nice like golden glazed brown look on there. And that's what we want because it's going to be like, give that brown is give that, like I said earlier, that crispiness. And then the mushroom is like naturally meaty and chewy. So I'm going to go ahead and just add that onto the top of my Caesar salad. Well, actually, I'm going to plate it. Set that aside. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to my plate here. All right, then I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna add my mushrooms on top. And I'm gonna go ahead with the remainder of my dressing and just drizzle that on top.
I like that you coat the lettuce and the greens with dressing and also drizzle too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now that you mentioned that, I did forget a step. So my Italian seasoning, that's what I wanted to drill in today. You have to season your greens. So the step that I missed was just sprinkling my greens when I was massaging my kale with the Italian my Italian seasoning, and that really ups the flavor profile of your salads. So Yes, that's what I forgot. Season your greens. So here we have it. But it's still gonna be good because we have some good flavors that we use in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a spoon. I don't have a fork. I'm gonna just go ahead and taste it.
Can you give us a close up before you take a bite? Oh yeah, that looks great.
So I'm not. My light isn't want me to be great today, but
Everybody give this video a like if that kale vegan chicken Caesar salad looks good to you. Okay, we won't hold you up anymore. Go ahead and eat.
so we'll go ahead and give it a try and see if all those flavors are coming together. So I got me a piece of mushroom on there, some kale, some lettuce. Let me get a chickpea and a crouton so that I can get all those flavors together at once. Mm, that's delicious. It's just like the umami flavors from the mushroom comes together with the freshness from the kale salad and the creaminess from our Caesar dressing. This is a meal that will definitely fill you up, and I definitely think you should add into the rotation. You know, sometimes people say that they're not feeling filled after eating vegetables, but when you work with these different, plant foods or your fungi and just combine them, you can create amazing dishes. So, yes, that's your chicken Caesar cow salad.
Woo!
So
Nicely
simple and
done.
so easy to the point.
It looks simple, but it also looks really good. Like that salad
Mm-hmm.
looks like a meal. So
Yes,
yeah, I
it's not
think
the regular house salad now.
yeah.
It's
And
the
we've got
name,
some
the shrimp
comments
taste.
too. Yes,
Great
Miriam says,
salad.
"Oh my word, looks good." It really
Mhm.
does. I think we're like in unison in that thought here. Ruthie Oak says it looks so delicious. Yes. Yes. Oh, Miriam and Ruthie. Yes. Miriam says she's drooling. Yes. Me too. Me too, Miriam. And then Ruthie says she's gonna make it tomorrow.
Yes,
Ruthie,
good.
leave
Let
us
us
a
know how it is.
comment. Let us know how you like it. Yeah, this salad looks excellent, Jasmine. So thank you so much for putting this recipe together and then sharing it with us. I look forward to making it too. I'm gonna make it on Sunday. And if you want to make it for yourself, you can find the recipe. Yes, Audrey, you can make perfect timing. Audrey wants to know, is this recipe on the website? It is. You can find it on the Afro-Vegan Society website. And also, I just posted the link again in the chat. So whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you should just be able to click that link and it'll take you right there. And they have all the written instructions for you. So thanks so much, Jasmine.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you guys for sharing with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Yes, yes. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, no matter if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook if that's where you're watching. Subscribe to us on YouTube if that's where you're watching. Share this video with someone who you think will like it, but who wasn't able to tune in this evening. And be on the lookout for lots of new, amazing content from Afro-Vegan Society. We've closed out Vegan Chicken Month with all these delicious plant-based chicken alternatives. But you know what? We've got so much more content coming for you. So you want to be locked in with us so you don't miss a thing. All right. So with that said, thanks everybody and have a great
Bye.
evening. Bye everyone.